Okay. Yes, Mr. Anthony.
Okay. Good morning, grade 8. Thank you for joining our literature class. Today we'll be continuing with the reading and discussing the last paragraph, which Abdulaziz kindly read yesterday. And if we remember, we're talking about when children or kids become adults, and we're talking about parents, parents that find it difficult to allow their children to become adults, or they might have some hindrance, or they might hinder that development. Hinder meaning preventing. And or there's another very good word here that which you read in the text, thwarting. So, Mr. Omer, could you click on the word thwarting?
Which line?
Thwarting, the vocabulary word,
this
thwarting.
Word,
yeah. Yes.
Click on it. Yeah. Thwarting.
So, does someone want to read this? Thwarting or to thwart?
Can I read?
Yes, Aziz.
If you thwart something, you stop it from happening.
Very good. It's a difficult word to pronounce. Thwart. It's almost like thought, but it's like when you think of.
There is a what sound after the th.
Yeah, there's a thwart. It's quite difficult to pronounce.
Yeah.
And it implies that you're stopping something. So in this context, the parents are thwarting.
Mister, is it thwart or thwart?
Thwart.
With a what Aziz after the th.
Thwart. It's quite difficult. Yeah, you have to.
Thwart.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Perfect.
All right. Yeah. All right. So let's start reading from the beginning of the paragraph, Mr. Anthony. Today we're going to start with Yahya today, right?
Okay. Yahya?
With Aziz yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Yahya.
I start from yet.
Yes.
Yet my research with Abigail Sylvia Moore reported in our book shows that many college students are in frequent contact with their parents, nearly twice
Yahya,
daily.
can you speak up a bit, please, because your voice is so faint.
Nearly twice daily on average, and that frequency of contact is related to lower autonomy. Parents who are using technology, calls, Skype, texting, email, Facebook, etc., to micromanage lives from afar might be thwarting the time passed to adulthood. Not surprisingly.
So hold on, Yahya. So what does the author trying to communicate here or to say here?
He's telling that even people in college, the parents always
interfering,
they're always close to them, or
interfering with
their lives,
or with their decision, and this something which encourage their passage to adulthood or hinder it. Yes, very good. It's a kind of hurdle here that teenagers have to overcome. Yeah, Mr. Aziz, can you summarize what you? Yes, Mr. Anthony.
There was another word that we discussed last class: autonomy or autonomous.
Yes.
So, does anyone remember this definition?
Independent.
Yes, very good, Aziz.
Very good,
Mister, you put Yahya to attendance.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. He's a very good observer. Yeah. This guy has an eagle eye, mashallah. What's the word you can use in this context, Mr. Anthony? Observant? Or?
He's very observant. Yeah, you could say observant. What's another good word? I don't know.
Observer, maybe.
Yeah, observer.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to Dr. Omar Saleh. Can you summarize what Yahya has just said and has just said, and the point the author is trying to make here?
Okay, up, Mr.
Yes,
Click up.
Amori Habib. Yeah, all right. Sorry, love.
From the first
Sorry,
click up.
sorry. I apologize. Are you using your phone?
Yes.
Sorry about that. So this is the best I can do. Okay, so I have to. Is it clear enough for you like this?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
So what's the point the author is trying to discuss here?
That
Of course, the research that has been done or that was done is on
here,
college
Mr.
students. And college
parent.
students, from what ages to what age, Mr. Anthony? College students?
It was 18 to 25, I think it was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, yes, what do you want to say?
The parents who are using call, Skype, texting, email, Facebook to microwaving deals from far may throttling.
Micromanage. Yeah, micromanage live. All right. So, so there we say here, Mr. Anthony, that they kind of manipulate their children's life.
Yeah, manipulate or control.
Yeah, control.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Master,
So,
like the doll who controls the doll with the
yeah,
hands.
yeah, you feel weird, but some parents are like this. Some parents are like this. I don't know. Anthony, have you met anybody who is like this? And I would say this is not a bad thing for some people, but this comes out of their fear for their children. As I told you, for example, I'm going to give you a personal example here. Sorry, I use myself as an example here, but my mother still asks about the kind of food that I eat, although I have been married for like 16 years or 17 years now. You see?
Yes.
So she's still, yeah.
In the mother's eyes, you're still a child.
Pardon me?
In the mother's eye, you're still a child.
Do you agree with this, Mr. Anthony? Do you agree?
Of course.
With
Yeah, you're always a child to the mother. Yes.
Yeah. How about you, Mr. Anthony? Have you experienced something like this?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think everyone experiences some form of micromanaging that parents provide because they want to help, and that's sometimes it can be positive and sometimes it can be negative towards development.
Yeah. But of course, there is no ill intentions here. They don't do this in like with the purpose to harm their children or hurt. Actually, they are trying to be more protective. Yeah. Mu'taz would like to say something. Sorry, Mu'taz, I wasn't following the chat. I am so sorry, love. Let me just, Mr. Anthony, let me just check.
Yeah.
Mu'taz's point. My mom still cares about. Can I read this out loud, Mr. Mu'taz? Because this is a personal experience. Can I read it out to everyone? Say
Master,
yes.
we can see it. We can see
Wallah?
it.
Oh, sorry.
We can see it.
I changed the setting. Okay. So my mom still cares about my big brother. He is in college. He is he is on a Mu'taz. He is on a scholarship in America. In America, Mu'taz?
Yes, Mr.
I never
Yeah.
know what scholarship
All right.
mean.
Was
I
it?
know what مبتعث mean.
On a scholarship.
Oh,
Yes.
but it doesn't make sense. مبتعث means to the government takes one.
Yeah, when the government sends somebody to to continue with his education abroad, Mr. Anthony, what word? When the government sends somebody to continue with his education abroad, because Aziz doesn't like the word scholarship.
Yeah, so it's not just for governments. Also, you can get scholarships based on the academic, sport, ethnicity. So there's many scholarships. Basically, mean the school will support you
Hi,
financially.
Good morning, Muhammad Jibreen.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm late.
It's okay. So Mr. Enter Aziz doesn't like the word scholarship in this context. He's asking if there is another word when the government sends students to continue with their education outside the government on the government's account. That's
We call it study abroad, maybe.
study abroad only. What if
That makes
what
sense,
if it
but,
is
yes.
supported, or what's the word? I slipped my mind. Subsidized by the government.
Oh yes, subsidized. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What if
and
it is subsidized by the government? What do we call it? Does it still? Is it still called scholarship?
Oh,
I think
maybe.
I think so. I mean, maybe I think you could call it a scholarship. In my opinion, I've had friends that went to my university who are from Saudi Arabia, and the government or sponsor. You could say sponsor. The government's maybe sponsored them. I mean, it's a scholarship, but it's
a sponsored scholarship, government sponsored scholarship.
Yeah, that sounds like a good term.
Yeah, complex.
Yeah.
All right. So, Aziz, how do you like government sponsored scholarship?
That makes sense.
Okay. I love your heckling, man. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, so let's go. Yes, Amuri, you were saying. Sorry, Amuri, we stopped you.
No problem, Mr.
It's okay, love. Can you quickly summarize again what you said? What you just said?
That parents who are using technology called Skype, texting, or Facebook to microwing live from far may throwing.
Micromanage, micromanage, or manipulate, control. Yeah, the children like. And do you think the author think this is a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
Yeah, and what's your evidence?
That
what does she say that makes you say that this is not this is a setback rather than an advantage?
Here, Mr.
Yeah, can you underline it?
Yes. Sorry, here, Mr.
Yes, I like it, Mataz. Thank you. Okay, thanks for the participation, Mataz. Okay, yes, Amuri. No, I don't think so. Do you think this is an evidence that this is a setback, according to the author, boys? What Omar underlines here, the part that Omar underlined here. What do you think, Mr. Anthony?
I don't think so.
Because no one treats them as adults.
So, can you cite an evidence that that shows that the author sees parents' interference in their children's life as a setback or a disadvantage rather than an advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
It's easy, boys. Mr. Anthony has just discussed it with you.
Mister, I agree with the parent being a guide only, not micromanage.
Okay, we're going to discuss this point after you answer my question, Aziz. Gentlemen, cite specific evidence. I myself say, Mu'taz says, I myself say it's bad thing. Who's annotating now?
Me, Mr.
No, Amuri. But thank you for your participation, Amuri. I love you.
Mr. I know this one, Mr.
Also not likely to see themselves. Oh, yeah, all right. So, as a result of this interference,
yes, Mr.
They are not likely to see. They are not likely to see themselves as adult. But we have to come to this point yet, Amuri. But I would really appreciate it if you
Mister, I found
stick
it.
to
I
the part
found
that
it.
we read. Do you see this part, boys? What does the word
Yes.
sport mean?
I know, Mister.
Yeah, what
Mister,
does it
what
mean,
about
Amori?
this?
You remember?
To let someone to do things like
Yeah, very good. It
movement or like
stops.
this.
It stops or hurdle, like Mr. Hinder, like Mr.
Yes.
Anthony said. Hinder, the passage to adulthood. And this word thwarting, does it have a negative or a positive connotation in this context?
Negative.
Yes, very good, very good. I would say so. Any
Mister,
other
I wrote
ideas?
this. Yes.
Yes, Aziz. What do you want to say? So, Aziz, you said that you have a comment here. What's your comment on this about the parents as being guides to their children?
Mister, no, I put to annotate. Do you see it?
Where?
I will read it. And that frequency of contact is related to lower
Have we read this part yet?
It's up.
No, it's a little bit higher. The
Higher?
frequent.
This is down.
Which line? Line what?
Line 3 from your position.
1, 2, 3 here. Yeah.
No,
So our
down.
frequent contact nearly twice daily. Can you continue reading for this, the part you are citing?
Yes, and that frequency of contact is related to lower autonomy. So
Yes,
by them
very good, very
speaking
good.
to
That's
them
a
a
very
lot,
good point.
they
Don't you
have-
think, Mr. Anthony?
I think it's a good, very good note.
Can
That's
this be an evidence?
definitely.
Yeah, very good, Aziz. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Mu'taz, for your participation also. All right. Okay, so let's move to Mr. Muhammad Al-Jibreen. Can you continue reading for us, starting from here?
Okay. Not surpri-
Yes, Muhammad Jibreen.
not surprisingly, Mr.
Not
Yar-
surprisingly.
not surprisingly,
Yeah.
Mr. It's covering the rest of.
All right. Hold on a second, please. Let me just put some points for these boys. Okay. Not surprisingly, yeah.
These college students are also not likely to see themselves as adults,
Mm-hmm.
nor fully prepared to take the responsibilities of their actions.
That's Omar's point here, but we haven't we hadn't read it yet when Omar used it as an evidence. But this is a very good evidence, Omar. Thank you. I love you. Very good. Yes.
You're
Continue.
welcome, Mister.
Yeah. So, given that this control or this over control, can we say over control, Mr. Anthony?
We could say
Yeah.
other controls. Yeah, we could say other controls.
Yeah. Over control.
Oh, so over controls. Yes, over controls, definitely.
Yeah. Over control. Yeah. All right. So this over control will lead to what? According to what you read, Muhammad.
Not taking responsibilities of their actions and not likely to see themselves as adults.
Yeah, very good. It's very unlikely that they could or they would see themselves as adults. Any other idea, boys? Aziz, you were talking about this guide thing, this guiding
Yes.
thing. Yeah. What's your point?
My point is it's okay if you guide your your what?
But the
Students,
question is, Aziz, to what extent should parents guide their children?
I mean, like in math, they don't give you the answer. They give you the tip or the how you get the answer.
Yeah, but can you give us, for example, two
The rule,
examples?
like
One with guiding, one with guiding, and one with an example where we can call this guiding, and an example where we can call this interference or micromanaging or over controlling.
Like
Yeah.
if it's okay if you call them and see what happened and guide them. This is okay.
So,
Or if you
Aziz, I'm gonna give you an example. All right. This might be a kind of we are going ahead of ourselves, but what if you met somebody and you like this person, and you want to propose to her, you want to have her as your wife, and your parents said no, you can't take her as your wife.
What?
This is a very difficult example, I know, but you need to decide. You brought it yourself.
Mister, give me. I think that what
No,
happened.
I'm curious to know that how would you react in this situation?
This wouldn't happen from the beginning, even.
How? And what? Yeah, why? Won't it happen from the beginning?
Why would it happen?
I'm gonna hand you to Mr. Enter to argue.
This Aziz, can happen in many cultures where parents want their sons or daughters to marry a specific person, and if they don't fit he or she does not fit their criteria, then they may disapprove. So they might have control over their children and who they decide to be with, and this can be problem for many people. Obviously things have changed a lot these
I
days.
think
However,
it differs by tradition and family.
yeah, of course, definitely. It has changed a lot because it was more common, in the past. However, I'm sure that parents try to influence, the type of people that they want their sons or daughters to marry. So it is it's a common occurrence in many countries.
Yeah, but I'm still curious. How would you react, Aziz?
Mister, why would you want to marry a girl there?
Yeah, but what if you know that somebody's the perfect person to share the life with your life with you?
Maybe if you say example of someone else, I can answer.
Okay, how about someone else? What if this happens to someone
I think
else?
they should listen to their parents because their parents
Yes,
say something.
Mu'taz is curious. Mu'taz is
they
curious
will
about the
answer it.
question, Mr. Anthony. Can you repeat the question for him?
For
Yeah, I can
Motez, yes.
Yes.
answer.
Motez, the question is, how would you feel if your parents stopped or didn't allow you to marry someone because they wanted someone different, or they wanted their say?
Mister, my answer, someone else, their parents, the parents are saying something that he can't see.
Maybe that's a point. Maltese said they have the right to choose whoever, and he says, "I won't."
I have a real example, Mr. Anthony.
Okay.
I have a real example which happened to one of my students. As old as I am, my student is 30 something, and he got engaged and even did the paperwork for their marriage. All right, but her father, the bride's, the lady's father, or the woman's father, forced, and actually her uncle forced her father, and they both forced the girl to give up this marriage simply because he is not from a proper family. You see what I mean in terms of the social class we are talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
The guy is a banker and he has a good job in the bank, but we are talking about only his skin color in a way, and the social background in another way is another reason.
But can I don't think he can force the girl to not marry. I think only the father.
Pardon me? Actually, they really got married, but he forced her into asking the guy for divorce. Because actually it was the one who pushed the father to do this is the uncle, because he kept nagging him about the social background of the guy, the social class, I mean.
That's totally wrong for me.
So do you think this is a kind of positive interference or guiding? Aziz, what do you think?
Yes.
Is this a kind of guide?
The parent will interference with the girl, maybe not, but the uncle, what business does he have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So this
وشكل.
is negative interference.
yeah, I don't know. It's, we are asking Aziz here, Mr. Anthony. I don't know because
But
he
that's
thinks
negative.
he thinks he thinks it's a kind of guidance.
Yes.
So can you give us your own example of guidance, Aziz?
Why didn't the girl tell her father?
Yes.
Yeah,
was a
the
secret.
girl, because she's a girl and she can't speak up. She can't speak out for herself.
Her problem.
What is it?
That's the problem.
Her problem with the father. Why she can't
So
speak?
what if it happened to you? You met a girl.
That wouldn't happen from the beginning.
Mister,
Yes, yeah. Yes, sorry. Yes, who is speaking?
Mu'taz,
Yes, Mataz. Finally, we heard your voice, man.
if the marriage, the people that want to marriage, as long they are comfortable with each other, it's okay to marry. But to marry, like to force marry someone that you don't like, then you have family problems.
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about Mataz. If you met somebody and you think that this person is the right person for you, the one you would like to share your life with, and your parents said no, you can't marry her, would you consider this guidance or interference?
It depends.
Interference.
Yahya, you said it depends. Can you give us the two alternatives or the alternatives you're talking about?
If only the father said, okay, you can find the other one. But if someone, for example, said the father not to do this, for just like the story that you told us, I think that's wrong. That's
So that means you are going to listen to the reasons why they refuse. And you are going to evaluate these reasons for yourself. Maybe they are seeing something from a different perspective.
yes.
That's what I said.
And if the reasons are convincing to you, you're going to go with them. But what if the reasons are not convincing?
Okay, but you even see something from another perspective.
So you should have a kind of conversation with them about it.
Yes, as
Yeah.
Mr. But
until you finally either convince them or get convinced with what they think.
But
Good
Mr.
point.
What if you took all of this story and at the end her family doesn't agree?
No. I'm talking about your family now. So everything from the other side is sorted out. Mr. Anthony, if
Okay.
you were in this
Yes.
situation, what would you do? Listen
Well,
good, because we have to bear in mind something which is very crucial: the culture, right?
you
Culture
have
is a
to
major factor here.
you have to take the you have to analyze all of the possibilities of, if you love that person, you might lose some relationship with your relatives. However, it doesn't, I mean, it's your life in the end, so you have to be able to you can't make everybody happy, and if they're not happy, then you have to make that decision. If it might be, they might be just trying to guide you, but they actually might be interfering with you. So yeah, it's a tough situation because
Yeah, Mr.
some
Anthony,
people.
yeah, I
Yeah, I
agree
was
with
just
Yahya that we should go. We should have a sound, reasonable conversation. So the two sides should have conversation about it. So the parents should discuss it reasonably with their child, and the son should discuss his reason reasonably with his parents in a way that our religion has pointed out بالمعروف. You know what I mean, boys?
Yeah.
So you know what's معروف in English?
Favor?
No.
Not favor, in a very
No, it's
decent, in a very decent and polite way. So you have a very polite conversation with them. All right, and based on this conversation, you reach a kind of decision, right? What do you think, Mr. Anthony?
I think so. I think that's the best way to solve a problem like this. To just open discussion, have an open mind, and discuss. With an open mind to the what they might see as a problem is not really a problem, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So let's continue with our reading. I'm gonna go to Muhammad Jibreen because he hasn't
2
participated.
minutes left, by the way.
Thank you, but you were 2 minutes late to join the class. Aha, you think I'm here? I am a good observant too.
Master, it's good that I even came.
Ah,
Your class
so
is-
I should be thankful for this, Aziza, to be honest. I love you, man. But this is me. I love joking with you. Right, Aziz?
I also, thank you.
I love you, man. I love you. I really miss you, wallahi. I really miss you all. Thank you. All right, let's go to Muhammad Jibreen. Yes, Muhammad Jibreen. Thank you for your valuable participation, Mu'taz. Muhammad Jibreen.
Yes,
Yes, Habibi. Can you read for us?
sure.
Yeah, one in 5 students.
1 in 5 students
We have
in our
statistics
study
here, boys.
report.
We have statistics here, boys, all right?
1 in 5 students in our study report parents are editing and proofing
Oh, really?
their papers. For example,
Yeah.
college parents can help with the transition
Transition.
by
Yeah.
serving as a sounding board rather than being directive.
And that's
by
actually what
steering their
Aziz
college age
thinks.
kids.
Like guides, play the role of guides and only guiding. Yeah? All right.
By steering their
steering-
college age kids to campus. Resources for help.
Like guiding them. Steering here
Yes,
is another word for guiding,
Guiding.
right, Mr. Anthony?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you direct.
Yeah. Continue, Muhammad.
Mr. It's the note
Sorry.
is
Yeah.
alright. By considering long-range goals rather than short-term ones, and by giving their kids space to grow up.
So what have we got
Kids
here
and
in the end
sentences.
of the selection here? What have you got here, Mr. Anthony, Mr. and everyone? What have we got?
Can I
here?
answer? Can I
Yes,
answer?
Muhammad Jibreen.
I think that the conclusion is that
Very good. The
she
conclusion,
says
which includes what?
she thinks that
So the conclusion
instead
here
of
includes what?
instead of controlling them,
Yes.
they should
So
like
when you say
guide them
instead of,
in the
you
direction.
should. Hey, hello, Hamoudi. Sorry. I'm directing you to a point here. I'm trying to elicit an answer from you.
Yes.
When you say instead of doing this, you should do this, what are you doing here?
I think this is controlling.
Oh, no. Well, this is not what I'm after.
No.
Everyone, does anybody know the answer before we
No,
leave?
this is controlling the kid.
I have a question.
Yes, Yahya.
You see that in like
Why does the
of course,
author put kids in an annotated
So,
word?
sorry, Yahya, you need to speak up because I can hardly hear you. Mr. Andrew, can we consider this recommendation from the author?
Yes, as their.
So the
I mean, this
conclusion
should
here
relate.
includes what?
Conclusion should
saying-
the conclusion should include their summary of their point of view, and it might relate back to the introduction. But this would be what or recommendation or call to action.
I'm saying
Yeah.
why
So the conclusion here came as a kind of recommendation or suggestion, boys. All right. Yes, Yahya. Can you speak up a bit, please? Can you come
Yes.
closer to the mic? Can you put the
Yes,
mic
yes.
closer to your mouth?
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm saying, why did the author put the word kids in a nominative? He put
Oh,
quotations
kids.
in the word.
That's a very good point. Why would the author use kids? Because it sounds to me that the author is putting it between quotation marks, because this is what he thinks actually. What this is what other parents or over controlling, or those poor parents call their teenage or college children. They call them, as you guys said, you're still a kid in your mother's and your parents' eyes, even if you grow up. Right, Mr. Anthony? Am I right?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So they're highlighting, they're putting it in the brackets there
As
to
if,
emphasize.
yeah, as if this is not my word. This is not my word. I am borrowing this word from parents. Right, Mr. Anthony?
Yeah, so they're making a reference to overall parents'
Yeah,
way to describe teenagers,
yeah. Thank you, Mr.
adults,
Anthony.
young adults.
Thank you. Thanks for the question, Yahya. Any questions before we leave, boys? All right. Can you vote for the class? Can you vote for the class before we end the meeting?
Excellent class.
Oh, thank you, Yahya. I love you. I really enjoy it. Please do not deprive me of this happiness.
And I just want to make a note for the people that